Alrighty. We're gonna get right to it. What's good, world? It's your boy Mastermind Man, and this is the special episode, Assassin's Creed, man. Listen, man. This episode was long overdue. We on video too. Let me just go ahead and explain a couple things before we dive heavy into the Assassin's Creed. This podcast is way long overdue. This will be a podcast dedicated specifically to Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I'll be giving you my deep thoughts about it. Review, basically. I'll be speaking highly about graphics, updates that'll be coming out, storylines, you know what I'm saying, and just sharing different favorite moments of the game. Shout out to Ubisoft, man, because it's a great game, and I love what they do with Assassin's Creed overall. So I have pros and I have cons. So that's what this podcast is going to mostly be about. Be sure to check out the main episodes, April 2021, weekday and weekend drops, and the PlayStation standalone podcast by itself. We'll go back and forth dropping episodes within those two bankets, you know what I'm saying? But this right here is specifically for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I've been talking about doing this episode for a very long time, and now the fact that we're doing it on video, this is very important. Listen, we're going to jump right into it. Man, first of all, this Assassin's Creed is not as good as Odyssey, in my opinion. Now, I probably struck a lot of nerves when I said that beginning of the podcast. Listen, Odyssey, go back and check out my Odyssey full podcast, because I did a podcast on Odyssey when all the DLCs and all that stuff dropped. I was playing Odyssey heavy. Got full, detailed, deep review about that, and you'll understand how I feel about that. But Odyssey was a very good game, and this one had the hopes to be that way, but it didn't quite catch up. So I'm actually about to broadcast on Twitch really soon, playing Valhalla. Be sure to check me out on Twitch. I'm actually playing now. Be sure to check me out on Twitch, Master23Mind, YouTube, Mastermind RGTV, and also on IG at Mastermind RGTV. So one of the things I like about this game, they did kind of improve on the graphics. The graphics is definitely, you know what I'm saying, definitely noticeable on next gen, I per se, mostly on next gen. I'm playing on because I've played it. This is also thoughts on playing it on the PS4 Pro, and also now I'm playing it on the PS5. Now playing it on the PS4 Pro, the graphics is not bad, you know what I'm saying, but it is current gen, and you do see to where, you know, there's a couple stumble blocks all over the game, you know what I'm saying, and frame rates drop. You do see a lot of that stuff, and I'm only speaking from the PlayStation standpoint. I'm not speaking from the Xbox or whatever, but you do see that a lot, drop frame rates and whatnot, dropping, screen tearing, all that stuff on the PS4. And playing it on the PS4 Pro, I was like, man, you know, this game, one thing Ubisoft always mess up on, man, on Assassin's Creed games, man, it's the bugs, man. And you can definitely see a lot of the bugs on the PS4 version, man. And that's all I got to say about that. But on the PS5 side, it plays much better, man. You actually see, you know what I'm saying, the better quality of the game. Of course, it's next gen, but a lot of those like frame rate drops or whatnot, I'm not really seeing in the PS5. It looks much more better. Let's just go into details about the graphics real quick. I was trying to hold up on the graphics, man. The detail of the snow when he's, you know what I'm saying, walking through the snow, the details of that, like, that is amazing. The sunset views, the sunrise views, that is amazing. Detail on Forrest, like, you know what I'm saying, the character, Forrest, like his face, the wrinkles in his face, like, they really did a good job on that stuff. You can see a lot of that stuff on the main character. Now, one thing I really hope Ubisoft kind of, you know, do better in the future is do that not just to the main character, but do that to everyone in the game, every character in the game. And I think on the next Assassin's Creed, probably in 2022, you're gonna see a lot of this stuff that I speak on about Valhalla definitely improve in the future, because right now we're in early stage of the PlayStation 5. So, of course this stuff is gonna get better over time. So, and that's one of the things I really hope they kind of, continue to dive deep in, is the detail structures of the game. And speaking of detail, like the water, from when the snow is melting, mud, like the dirt, like you can see footprints in the mud, whatnot, like just little travel marks. The water, man, the water. I'm actually, for those that's listening to this on audio, I'm actually playing through the Assassin's Creed right now as I talk about this stuff, because that's the thing about Assassin's Creed, man. Why it took me so long to kind of come in here and do the podcast is the mere fact that, there's so much to really tap into about this game and to kind of dive deep into, because I'm a very detailed person and I pay attention to a lot of this stuff in this game, man. And, it's one of those games I wanted to kind of really talk and play through at the same time. If you watch my live screens on Twitch and YouTube, you'll see and understand exactly what I mean, to where I just, be going details and just paying attention to a lot of the stuff in the game. And the one thing, moving on from graphics, I'm come back to graphics later on, of course, back and forth throughout the podcast, but moving on, talking about force like the AI in the game. The AI is okay for as you rating and all that, and the mechanics in the game. The rating part is actually my favorite throughout the whole game, believe it or not. The rating is my favorite. The storyline kind of started off a little bit slow, but once you get into it, man, it's pretty cool. And I think Assassin's Creed, like right now, this lady is just smacking the shit out of this guy that they're drinking. Just little moments like that. That particular AI in the game, he smacked her back. Oh, wow. That particular moment, those moments like that in the game with the AI, not just your team AI, is important, because that builds up the experience and being immersed in the game. And I think that's a good thing, man, because even if you I'm pretty quick a lot of times. I just want to run through the game and hit straight to the mission. Now I may have some times where I just may want to enjoy myself in the stage or on the game itself, and just really kind of participate around with different things in the village, and just kind of dance with the people around the village. Like right now there's people dancing in the village of the game, and I think that's pretty cool, man, because you can interact with them, and, bump into them, waste their drink, they'll cuss you out. They'll say something back to you. So, improvements for the next Assassin's Creed game, give us more detail, and more immerse with the AI characters in the game, and not just the main character in the game. So I think that's important to kind of speak on, because again, man, we're talking about next gen here. A lot of this stuff that I'm speaking on, I know it's possible. You know what I'm saying? It's possible to render in all these characters and all these things in this game with the power and tech that we have in our hand with this next gen console. So look, man, this ain't just no, fly in the wind wishes we can pie in the sky stuff. Pie in the sky. This is stuff that can really, really happen, man. And I think if developers and just games themselves, period, like really, man, dive into it, and they've been doing it. They, games improve every now and then, especially with DLCs, and nowadays with DLCs and all this other stuff. If they just dive into like the small stuff like that, man, I think that'll be really cool, especially for a game like Assassin's Creed, because it's a more immersed game. And Assassin's Creed is one of those games to where you're playing to where it's like, okay, if you're not really, it's not one of those games you can just pick up and just play. Especially, if you're in the middle of a story, you can, but it's one of those immersive games to where the more immersed you are, trust me, the better it is, man. Now I got to a point on the game to where I'm really tied into the story to where it's like, okay, I got to know what's going to happen next. And I can't put the controller down. And I scream every time I play. So it's like, hey, man, I'm sorry if y'all get some whack screams going some nights, man, but this game is just is gorgeous. It plays really well on the PlayStation 5. I mean, of course, there's room for improvement, but I'm at the point of the stories where it really gets like really intense, and it makes you want to continue to play and to find out what's happening. And I like games that's able to do that, because you know what I'm saying, again, that just packs a punch on next gen. And diving more into next gen with the PS5 joystick, the controller, the whole adaptive triggers or whatnot, those things are cool in Assassin's Creed. I don't think Assassin's Creed really utilize that option too much like it do with first person shooters. And I'm actually going into my game now to check and see if I even have it on, because I don't really Call of Duty made me so mad I kind of wanted to turn. I got mine. Okay, it's on, but it's not. Yeah, the vibration or whatnot is on, but the adaptive triggers don't really play a role in this game. Not quite yet. For as you listen to this podcast, for as April the 13th, you know what I'm saying? It don't really play a role in the game. But I'm pretty sure in the future, probably updates, they may send that out, and you know, you can feel when you're walking through the snow. I think before I was talking about on one of the main podcast shows, to where PlayStation may have something to where you can sense like if it's cold in the area, hot. Shout out to Hip Hop Gamer, because I think he spoke about some of that on a couple of his segments or whatnot, on some of his shows or whatnot. And I think that's pretty cool if they're able to do that. And Assassin's Creed will be a great game for you to do that, because there's a lot of snow environments. There's a lot of like, you know, water across the seas or whatnot when you're doing raiding and, fishing or whatnot. There's fishing on here. So those things, you can utilize those things with the adaptive trigger. I got to do a little bit better job at also talking to the video and also speaking to the audio world. Those be a great thing to kind of utilize in the adaptive triggers. So they don't really do too much of utilization of the adaptive triggers in this game, but I'm pretty sure they'll probably have it in the future. But Call of Duty do a really good job at utilizing the adaptive triggers. Now, it's kind of annoying, but it's a pretty cool feature, and I can see it being a pretty cool feature in Assassin's Creed. Sound-wise, man, the sound is pretty dope. I do feel like they should have, they need to incorporate, it's probably there, but it's probably haven't really noticed it. But really, like, at times where it's like really quiet in the game, just play some music, play some nature, have some things going on in the game. Keep the game like active, keep the game just moving. I know in the PS4 version, sometimes it takes forever to load up on the PS4 version. Like I said, frame rates and stuff is dropping. It's not unplayable on the old consoles, PS4 or anything, but it's like, it's not comfortable to play. It's not very enjoyable to play on older gen hardware versus next gen PS5, Xbox Series X or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely noticeable, man. And I think the sound is great, especially on the PlayStation with the whole 3D immerse sound or whatnot. I think that's pretty dope. So sound, it sounds pretty good on the sound. They do a good job. The interludes of the music, the bird sounds. One thing about going back to graphics real fast, I think I spoke on water, the detail of the fire, the fire on the game. Fire looks better. The fire graphics look better on the PS5 than it does on the 4. Pretty much everything on the 5 is going to look better. But it's not bad on the 4. But the details of, like I said, the fire, the snow, the water, all those things are pretty cool, man. Control-wise, battle sequences and whatnot, I'm not a big fan of the control. I'm not a big fan of the battle sequence and whatnot. It's not so quick like Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It takes a long time to kind of get you a little used to the controls and the mechanics of the battle. You know what I'm saying? So I think those things need to be kind of worked on, and that they kind of dropped the ball on Assassin's Creed Valhalla versus Odyssey. They did a wonderful job at it to where it's easier to fight. You know what I'm saying? The combat system was more comfortable, in my opinion, on the Odyssey series. So I feel like, man, if they would have kept that in Valhalla, it would have been way more enjoyable and really fun to play than it is now. Because that's one of the things that actually kind of angers me is the comeback mode. And it's like, oh man, these moves. I like the special moves they have on here. Don't get me wrong; those things are cool. But it's just the way how you fight on here is completely different from Odyssey, man. But the cool thing about the fighting part is on Valhalla is you can't just run in here and just press button, and fight. On Odyssey, you can. Valhalla, you can't really do that. You can to some sort if you have, great, a long health bar and, pretty good special moves. You kind of can, but you have to kind of really, really combat your way in Valhalla and really kind of play through it. And it kind of teaches you patience, which, what I'm saying, I'm not mad at, but coming from Odyssey, it's like they should have kept these things. The good things that was in Odyssey, they took out in Valhalla. Some of the things, most of the things actually. They did a better job with the bow. So I think that's what the thing was. On Odyssey, the bow and arrow was not so cool, but assassin moves, takedowns, and all that was much better on Odyssey. On Valhalla, the bow is much better. But the assassin moves and takedowns is like, what? No, give me Odyssey. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that kind of teeters me a little bit. The raids compared to the other battles on Odyssey, that's a pretty tough choice because both of them is fun and both of them is like my favorite feature of Assassin's Creed gaming, period. But the raids on here is pretty cool. But again, it goes back to what I was talking about before about AI. Yo, if they can integrate and make the AI smarter also on your team and the world, that makes a better game overall. Perfect example. A lot of times the AI, they'll go and find the big treasure loots or whatnot, and then have an exclamation mark on the map and it say, hey, come here, go there, whatever, to help your teammate loot. That's cool. I appreciate the AI being that smart and being able to do that. But something I also ask for is if I'm fighting an opponent and I can't get there, then the AI need to come in. They need to kind of, hey, let's go help. A lot of time I'm broadcasting live on Twitch. A lot of times, man, I be playing in the middle of a fight and the AI just be standing there. Sometimes they'll help. But it's like, hey, we're not done fighting. Come take out this guy. Like the other night I had a stream. I was broadcasting and playing, man. And it was like I was doing a story mode. And I'm fighting majority of the guys. And the team is just kind of there until you advance on in the story mode. Going into story real fast. And also talking about the mechanics of gameplay features. The thing is, man. When you're in a battle like that on a story mode or doing something on the story mode, it don't do a great job at kind of giving you the details of what to do in the story mode. It's like, perfect example, my last recent broadcast video is actually this one. This particular one is a mission to where she was telling you to drink something and then meditate by the shrine or whatever. Well, there's nowhere to drink anything. There's no cups or anything to drink out of. Where do I get the drink from? They don't really go into details like that in the story mode into this Assassin's Creed. And that's something that I kind of noticed. It was like, wait, okay, you're telling me to do something on the mission, and when you get to that particular location or that spot on the map, you don't really know what else to do. It don't really tell you anything. And it's like, okay, you want me to drink and meditate here. I know what to meditate, but where to get the drink from? It don't really give you those particular things in the game, man. And it's like, really? You know what I'm saying? It's like it forces you to kind of figure things out. You know what I'm saying? And that's like, that takes away the immerse of the game, because if I'm exploring this world and I'm trying to go do the main mission and I only got 15 minutes to play or whatever, you know, I'm just trying to hurry up and get past the story mode. If you're just trying to rush through it, it don't really allow you to do that. And a lot of times you're trying to rush through it, but also enjoy the world of the game. You're not really allowed to do that. because the story don't really give you a lot of details on what to do and where things is. So that's one of the things that kind of really, really bother me. And on some main missions to where you're fighting with your team and whatnot, you have to fight. You go off and fight a couple more group of guys that's away from your team. Your team may get halfway over there and they just stop, or your team may come over there and they be losing or something weird. I just feel like if they make the AI better on both sides, in the world and the AI on your team, it'll be a much more better gameplay overall. Graphics is dope. I'm not so fond of the controller. Story mode starts off a bit slow. This is like my capsule, just a capsule of it all, just sucking it all in now. Story mode starts off pretty slow, but ended up it's pretty good. It's not bad. It gets you into it later on in the game, but it takes a lot of time to kind of get into the game. There's a lot of stuff they kind of send you around doing on the game, and it's like, what's the point of this? I could have been doing something else while doing this. So it's a lot of moments in the games where it's like, I feel like my time was wasted. So you have to put a lot of time into this game, and that's one of the things. It's like, I don't mind because it's Assassin's Creed, but at the same time, don't make me feel like my time is being wasted by collecting snake eggs for a lady that tried to poison me, or something else crazy, or doing this small side ops mission that I really didn't get a good reward for. So, those things in the game that you know what I'm saying, I feel like can be better on the next Assassin's Creed game. And I really hope they don't don't break the things that don't need broken, pretty much. Don't mess up the things that's working properly for you in the game. Because I feel like if they would have kept the things that was working properly in Odyssey into Valhalla, oh man, Valhalla, I had high hopes for this game because I was a really big fan coming off Odyssey, and I was like, yo, Valhalla is gonna be the one, man. It's gonna be the one that I'm really hoping that they keep a lot of these features from Odyssey and just capitalize on it. They didn't do that. But overall, man, 1 out of 10 right now, I would probably have to give it a 7.5. This is before me getting immersed and really, really enjoying the story mode. But now that I'm enjoying the story mode and playing it on the PS5, I would have to give it an 8.5. That's a big jump. 7.5 on the PlayStation 4 Pro and an 8.5 on the PlayStation 5. The reason is because of that full detailed breakdown I just kind of gave you. And also, again, graphics, the load speed. Listen, dedicate a moment of silence for the load speed. The load speed on the PS5 is incredible. I can fly my bird all the way across the map and hit the button to bring it back. It's done. On the PS4 version, it has to load back up, load it, do its thing or whatnot. Takes a minute, maybe a minute or two. PS5, instantly. I fly my bird up, fly him halfway across the map, use the restroom, do whatever I want to do. 10, 15 minutes, my bird is still flying. I come back, hit the button, my bird is right there back, right here on the side of me. That's amazing. Speaking of the bird, something I wish they would have kept in Valhalla is the thing that really pissed me off in Valhalla. You can't mark your targets to like sneak up on them like you can in Odyssey. I was really good at that in Odyssey. They took that away from Valhalla, and I really wish they would have kept that. Really utilizing the bird. The bird is not really utilized in this game like it was in Odyssey. That's one of the things that really pissed me off. But the load speed of the game, remarkable. I can only imagine the next Assassin's Creed looking better, running better, loading up faster, better with the AI because now we're now on better technology, better features because we're on better technology. You feel what I'm saying? Those are top 5 things that I feel is going to be the next, then the best improvement overall for another Assassin's Creed game. I'll be back in here talking about Assassin's Creed, diving deep into Assassin's Creed. This was like a close to 25 minutes full in-depth conversation, full breakdown of Assassin's Creed. I'll be back in here talking about more because I'm not done playing the game. My thoughts will be updated. My feelings on the game, all that stuff will be more. Let's see how much time I have in the game. I think I only have about 48 hours into the game, 58 hours into the game. So, hey, versus Odyssey, I have over probably 300 hours in the game. So, yeah, I'll be back talking about more. Before I go, also the map size. Let's talk about that real fast before I get out of here. The map size on Assassin's Creed Valhalla is not so much bigger compared to Odyssey. Odyssey is much bigger. But the map size on Valhalla is not bad. It's not a small game. It's a pretty big world. One of the things I kind of noticed, and I wish they kind of don't do, they kind of do it on Odyssey a little bit too. They recycle a lot of the old areas and put them into new areas. And you're like, wait a minute, I just climbed up this cliff, I feel like maybe 15 minutes ago, because that's recycled. That's recycled things in the game. This is used for, better part in the map. And I feel like next gen, they don't really have to do that. But then again, I understand, you know what I'm saying? You can't just go around creating 500 new mountains to climb on a game. I understand. But they kind of seem to do it a lot on Valhalla. A lot of recycled, I'll say recycled content for the sake of understanding, my sake. Just recycled content, different things in the game. It's like, wait a minute, that was on that's something I seen on the northern sea of the map, versus I'm down here on the southern end of the map, and this looks just like that. Little things like that. But the map size is not bad. It's okay. 2, you get to go to Asgard. That's pretty freaking cool. When I seen that, I was like, okay, now we talking Valhalla, because this game started off slow, and I was like, yo, you're going to have to give me something good. Like Assassin's Creed Odyssey allow us to go back to, Atlantis and go back in time and different stuff like that. Those are what you call features in the game and add on content. So Valhalla do the same, which is dope. So far, I just discovered some of this stuff, and some stuff I'm just now really scratching the surface of the game. I got only, again, 58 hours total in the game. That is nothing. I'm kind of still at the beginning. Let's just say I have my hometown 5 out of 6. Be sure to follow me on Twitch, Master23Mind, to see me playing this game live. And check out, I got a full-blown playlist here on YouTube playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Valhalla. I'm not just here talking about it. I'm in the mud with you gamers, and I'm here gaming with you. Believe me, real gamer, baby. We ain't going nowhere. Stay tuned for more. And we're going to be talking about some more Assassin's Creed, man. Look at this. They gave Assassin's Creed 9 out of 10, 9.25 out of 10, 4.5 out of 10. It's okay. It's not the best Assassin's Creed, but it's okay. We'll be back talking about more Assassin's Creed, man. Be sure to stay tuned for more. Check me out on all podcasts. Hopefully I can get some guests in here. They're coming in here explaining their feelings about Assassin's Creed, the pros and the cons. Hey, just come in and talk about it. You angry about the game, you hate the game, let's talk about it. You love the game, you don't like the game, you like the game at the beginning but hate the game at the end. Let's talk about it. Game on, and stay tuned for more, folks. We out.